Hi guys, I'm back again with another very exciting video and you are watching Ramsha TechBox channel. So in the last video we have just extracted all the drawings and used PlanSift to create a new job file. So in this video we will learn about how to extract all the important information from the specification and which points should be highlighted. So you can see that this is the lighting fixture legend, and here are some symbols and they have named as that whether it would be recessed or ceiling mounted. So now it's time to look towards switches. So single pole switch, two pole switch, three-way switch, four-way switch, dimmer switch, key operated switch. Basically, key operated switch are located at those points where there should be a proper security. So that's why we prefer to use key operated switches at those location. Timer switch. These switches are connected with basically lighting control system. Weatherproof single pole switch. Weatherproof single pole switch are located at those points which have direct exposure with the environment, like outside of the building, at roof, etc. Exclusion proof single pole switch, single pole double throw switch, fan speed, three pole momentary contact switch. So these were all the switches. Now let's look at the fire alarm system. So these are the symbols and they have named. The important point is that there are some symbols in front of that. It is named that there are some symbols in front of that. It is written that they should be wired by the EC. It means by the electrical contractor. So like you can see here that the duct type smoke detector with sampling tube furnished by EC, installed by HVAC. Like electrical contractor would only wire up this duct smoke detector, and same as with this. So these points are very important and they should be highlighted. You can see here there is a highlighter option and you should right click on this, and you can see you can use highlighter anywhere and should highlight such points which are important. Same is the case with the duct type smoke detector with sampling tube. And you can see that the sprinkler flow switch, sprinkler temper switch, sprinkler pressure switch, sprinkler low pressure switch, all these would be wired by electrical contractor. And this post indicative valve should be wired by electrical contractor, and this fire alarm electric bell should be wired by electrical contractor, and it should be installed by electrical contractor as well. So now let's move towards technology. It means telecommunication part. So this is the data outlet and it must be inside the floor box. Floor boxes are such sort of boxes which are present on the floor, and floor boxes have some receptacles, some data outlets, some AV stuff in it. So it is written that it should have a single gang opening with 1-inch conduit with pull line to the nearest accessible ceiling of same floor, wiring and jacks by own wiring and conduits to all the small power stuff, but for data outlets we only provide conduits. So you should know that the standard size of wall in the USA is 10 foot, and the door size is 3 foot. You should note all these terms. So we will provide 1-inch conduit of 10 feet to each data outlet, and because it is written that it should be to the nearest accessible ceiling, it means that the conduit should run from the bottom to the accessible ceiling. So we will consider at 10 feet. Basically a data outlet, basically the data outlet is located on the floor. Then we will run some conduit towards the wall that would have different type that we will run further, that would be PVC. And after that we will run a 10-inch conduit from the bottom of the wall to the accessible ceiling. So it would be of 10 feet and it would be of 1-inch conduit. So same is the case here. Like a video outlet, like this video outlet would have two duplex outlet receptacle. Basically, duplex outlet receptacles are just like switches, twin switches. You may say that, and it's written that provided wire mode series EF SB4 wall mounted. They have also named the model for this duplex receptacle, and it is also mentioned that we for data outlet we will use 1-inch conduit, and for AV wiring we will use 2-inch conduit. One thing more, like when we are only running a conduit, we are not providing the wire, so that's why we use pull wire or pull cord or pull string, all these terms having the same meaning inside the conduit, so that when we want to wire that conduit, so with the help of pull wire or pull string it become very easier, otherwise it's very difficult. So that's why we will use 2-inch conduit for AV with pull wire. Okay, data wiring and jack by the owner's vendor. Now let's move next. So there is a series video outlet, same is the case, like 1-inch conduit for data outlet and 2-inch conduit for AV wiring. So this is voice or data outlet, one double gang opening which has 1 4 square multiplied by 4 deep JB with 1 2-inch conduit pull wire to the nearest accessible ceiling, and 2 single gang opening for that, 2 1-inch conduit with pull wire to the nearest accessible ceiling. And these are some symbols for small power, then existing equipment. So here you can see the symbol, like the first one. So this is a single receptacle, it means that a single outlet, and this is the second one is a duplex receptacle. Basically the number which is written aside with the symbol indicates the circuit number, so you can study these as well. And there, this is a floor box. Okay, this floor box has 4 data outlets and 2 duplex receptacles. This drawing show this. Now let's see what's written. So recessed floor box with 2, like yeah, it has 2 duplex receptacles, you can see that, and 4 RJ45 jack equal to wire mold outlet. So it's mentioned that provide 1-inch conduit for data to the nearest accessible ceiling. So this is another floor box, and it's mentioned that we should run 6 1-inch conduit to the nearest accessible ceiling. Like when we will do wiring, these things will be very important and we will follow these. So if you think these are a bit confusing, so don't confuse yourself, because we are just looking towards an overview of the whole project, so that the whole project should be in your mind, that what is this project is about and what are the things which are involved in it. So it's very necessary that before starting a project you should read specifications very carefully and extract all the very important information. And again, these are some more receptacles, and there are some miscellaneous devices. So it's mentioned that provide 4 square multiplied by 2 1 by 2 dB JB, it means I think junction box, and 1-inch conduit with pull wire to the electric door operator. So these are the devices that would be wired by electrical contractor. And so it's mentioned that wiring and raceway number of the diagonal lines indicate number 12 conductor, absence of diagonal line indicate 2, number 12 plus number 12 ground. Noted otherwise, ground is not shown in the count but shall be provided. To say that the number of the diagonal lines which are intersecting the main line shows the number of number 12 wire. It means that there are 5 diagonal lines on the main line. It means that 5 number 12 wire should be passed from the main conduit. And if there would be no diagonal lines on the main wire, then it means that the 2 number 12 wire, that would be phase wire, would pass from the main conduit plus with one number 12 ground wire. It means that three wires would pass inside the conduit if there would be no diagonal lines on the main line. Okay, so this is the home run to panel. Number of arrows indicate number of 20 ampere one pole circuit to panel. Okay, fine. So these were some important information, and here is some mechanical equipments, but this is important because it's mentioned that these equipments would be wired or installed by electrical contractors. It is also mentioned their wire number, that which wire number should be used for this equipment. Like carbon monoxide monitor should use 3 number 14 wire for wiring up this equipment. Now let's move towards the second drawing, and this drawing is about the specification. So you can see that there is a lighting fixture schedule. The schedule is very important in order to do lighting takeoffs, and we will extract information from this when we will do takeoff, but there are some specifications like here lighting fixture schedule notes. So there are some important points that I have highlighted which will help me in future. Like side poles shall be provided with full base cover to match the profile. Electrical contractor provide all new exit sign for this project. This is important. And wire and conduit size indicated on home run shall be continuous throughout the circuit. You may be confused with the term home run. So basically home run is the wire which run from the panel to the main load. So this is called home run. Okay. All branch conductor shall be copper. So it's mentioned that all branch wiring should be done by using copper wire, and the minimum size would be number 12 wire. We cannot use a wire smaller than this size. Okay. And fixture shall be supported from the building structure independent of hung ceiling. Do not tap metal roof deck for support of any electrical equipment. Provide unistrut as required for support of the electrical equipment. Okay. All exit signs shall be circuited ahead of any switch control for constant on operation. Provide lockable device on circuit breaker. Like when we will count the circuit breaker, then we will see that some of the circuit breaker will be lockable for security purposes, serving exit signs. Okay. For exit sign they will use lockable circuit breaker, and all new exit signs shall be circuited to panel LPG-1. Last point, exit sign installed in gymnasium, locker rooms and any other designated areas shall be provided with polycarbonate faceplate. Okay, so these were some of the important points, that's why I've highlighted. And it's very important to extract all the important information from the and it's very important that you should extract all the important points from the project before starting it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, share, subscribe and press the bell icon.